All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to the Diddy Kong Racing Time Trials Tournament quarterfinal matches. Today's match we're gonna have MrsGizamaluke versus andypanther, and so we still have the same format for picking tracks. However, we are not gonna play all 13 tracks, so it is first to 7. The pick has been made. It is Treasure Caves Hover. And the ban has also come in its Dark Moon Caverns. So we have our first hover track, and we have a ban of Dark Moon Caverns. Treasure Caves Hover is quite interesting. It's quite a fun. I think Treasure Caves, besides Treasure Caves playing in time trials, is pretty fun. And they're pretty consistent. Yeah. So we're just gonna wait for both players to be ready to go. Oh yeah, I should explain the whole. We need 3 car, 3 plane, 3 hover in the first 9, and after that it's free picks. I would say in this game that Giz is the favorite. He is the number 2 ranked time trialer. So it'll be interesting to see how they'll match up and how andypanther and how both of them will pick tracks as they go along. Alright, looks like we're about ready to get in. Gonna have Giz hopping around before we start, getting himself pumped up and ready. And Andy's pulling himself into the track, and we'll see how this first track goes. Hover is an interesting vehicle. We're gonna have both players snaking in hover, where they'll be going back and forth, because as you turn, holding the R button, you gain speed. So if we're constantly turning back and forth holding R, you're gaining and also being able to consistently hold high speeds. And also in all 3 vehicles, there's a concept called A-tapping. It's much easier to explain for car, because you're constantly A-tapping in car, but in hover and plane, it can be a bit tricky. Alright, so here we go. Both players are off. Oh, Giz only grabbing one of the bananas there, while Andy grabs all 5. However, Giz is a bit faster, just in his movement in general. So he is at 9, Andy has 11. So Giz is technically only 1 banana off, even though he has 2, because after 10, it does not matter how much bananas you get. Bananas do add about a 1% increase in top speed and acceleration. And also the reason that these players are both using TT is because he has the fastest top speed and acceleration in both car and hovercraft. And in some playing tracks we will use drumstick. Oh, and Giz missing the final zipper, but he is able to finish out with a 50. I'm gonna say 53, and Andy with a 54. So about 1 second apart. Almost 2, but yeah, just 1 second apart. So Giz does take the first game, and so now Andy will pick, because our loser gets pick of the track in this tournament, which is a good concept. But yeah, I think Giz is just getting a bit warmed up here. That's definitely not a time he would usually want. And it was much too close to Andy for his liking, I think. And Andy doing a good job getting very close to his PB time there. So we have Space Dust Alley Hover. So I think Andy also wants to kind of get the hover tracks out of the way, but also picking the most consistent version of Space Dust Alley Hover, or of Space Dust Alley, which is the hovercraft. And we did see a very we did see a pretty close match race between Trident and Obio on this. So let's see how Giz and Andy's race goes here. Oh, another thing I should mention, since Giz is using the magic codes Teeny Weenies, I think. I know he is, but where he's just smaller, it does really nothing for your hitbox, but it's a magic code that is the only magic code allowed to use in time trials. Oh, and I think Giz actually missed the zipper, but it didn't do a lot for him. Because getting that zipper is very difficult in the first place, and about 1 second apart on the first lap. And Giz going for all 3 zippers, but he does miss that one, which will allow Andy to catch up pretty much. And he floated in the air pretty high, and Giz got some nice boosts into the tunnel. He got a lot of air, but he still was able to go a bit farther and maintain his speed. Ooh, very nice boost from both players there. Andy's keeping up. He's only about 1 second away from Giz, and both players using the cave zipper, which can be very tricky, and so often players will opt to leave that out of one tries, and so just about 2 seconds apart here. That's really good, and with any mistake, Andy could easily catch up to Giz and surpass him. Both players just playing this course so well, and neither making a mistake, which is so cool, which is so good to see. I think literally the only minor mistake I saw was I think Andy didn't regain his speed quite so fast there at the end of the tunnel, at the end of the boost through the field and through like the spaceship field into the tunnel, and so very, very close. 140, a PB for Andy, a flap and a 3-lap. So congrats to Andy, man. He's keeping it very close, which is awesome. Yeah, so we have, it is 2-0 Giz, but Andy putting up a great show and getting a double PB on his own track that he picked. Andy's been playing very well in this tournament, honestly. He picks Everfrost Peak Plain, which is our first plane track, and is actually quite a bit difficult in time trials. In the balloon race, it might be a little bit easier. It's a little bit easier, most likely. It's just because there's more balloons that you can use as backups and stuff. But in time trials, there are no balloons, so you're really just trying to get some good bananas and stuff like that. EP plane's quite fun. It can be quite fun, but it's also quite challenging. So see how it pans out. Because in this track, essentially what you want to do is you want to pretty much be using A to get your first barrel roll and get to the first zipper, and then from there you want to pretty much not press A again for the remainder of the course. So both players are off, both doing quite a good job here. He's just a little faster with his plane movement. You can really see, and I think Andy's had to hold A there. I think he is maybe not quite as good, not quite as missing the zipper. It's quite unfortunate. You can really see the difference between the two of them in their plane skills. Giz getting a 23 lap, and Andy's going to get about 27 laps. So just even 4 seconds lost there due to plane movement. Giz doing a lot of barrel rollings. Barrel rolls being the fastest form of movement. Ooh, Giz missing that floor zipper, that car zipper. That's a very difficult zipper to hit, honestly. As you see, Andy does get it, but Giz still quite far ahead. Ooh, nice barrel roll from Giz. Kind of, I thought he might be in a bit of trouble there, but nope, he does get through it. He is going to finish up with about 107. That's pretty good for a one try, and Andy just having a bit of trouble on that course. Ooh. Yeah, he went a little early down on there, where if you go down, if you like go your downward motion and you miss and you just go bump in front, that's just very rough, and missing that zipper loses quite a lot of time. So he does get a 121 and Giz with a 107. So definitely showing how Everfrost Peak is definitely a tough track to play. And we have another plane track picked right away. We have Star City Plane. We saw quite an interesting matchup last time when we came to Star City Plane. I think it's definitely a track that's being picked. Like, I can pretty much say that it's a track being picked to trip some of the try to trick some of the players, and try to see if they're gonna bonk around, because this is a bonk heavy course. So I wouldn't be surprised if Andy gets closer. If Andy is just kind of banking that Giz has a worse plane than he does on this track. So we'll see what happens as we're off. Again, now we have had 2 hovers and 2 planes. No car picks yet, which is quite interesting. Usually people like to pick car pretty early. Ooh, I think Giz went for a backflip, or Giz went for a barrel roll. Ooh, some rough movement from Giz, and they're pretty much even right now. Andy has actually pulled ahead for a little bit. Giz missing the ground zipper, so Andy is gonna be very close to Giz heading into the second lap, and he is actually ahead by about a second. Giz having a rough Star City Plane. This is definitely a track that you need to warm up to, and but Giz does take the lead there as he enters and has a better time. Ooh, very nice. So Giz barrel rolling into the Giz is barrel rolling into that ground zipper, which definitely is a good idea, because you can direct your barrel rolls down. So Giz just taking a very nice second lap and pulling ahead. Andy doesn't even have a bad lap. He just has a slower lap than Giz. And Andy's not going for the... Oh, he does barrel roll into it that time. Oh, and Giz was an awful bonk in the city, so Andy is going to have some time to catch up. But I still think Giz is a little too far ahead, minus another huge bonk, and Giz will take this with a 1:26. Definitely not a great time, because he did have that pretty bad bonk in the city. And he also had that pretty bad mishap where he did a front flip in the first tunnel, which caused him to nosedive and lose all his speed. But this is definitely just a tough track. Okay, we have our first car track pick, and it's Haunted Woods Car, which Haunted Woods Car is a very fast track. It is there's quite a difficult part at the end. There's 2 very difficult parts to do really, really well, which we'll see at the beginning and at the end of the track. So we're gonna see once we get going, both players are gonna they're gonna be grabbing these bananas early, and then they're gonna hit a zipper, and they're gonna use that zipper to kind of carry themselves into the corridor section. So we're gonna see both of them go for that. Giz with a very nice time there, and then he also, oh, very nice. Wow, 16, so fast. Like, you can see how fast this is. Andy's only a second behind, but that 1 second is very much gonna be noticed. As he also gets a nice jump into the fourth section here. Giz with a 13 lap. Wow. And Andy's just not quite as fast. That's about 3 seconds lost. So Giz, ooh, a little bit of hiccup. So this is gonna allow Andy to catch up. However, I don't think it's enough. And Giz, that last section there is extremely difficult to do. But they did catch it all 3 times. Man, that was Giz was doing very, very good there. Just that one little mistake, or poor car movement, whether it was actually Giz or just the directions drifting or whatever, caused him to have a lot of issues on lap 3. But he had a very nice lap 1 and 2. A 15 and a 13 lap are extremely good. That's like top tier. So now we have 5-0. Yeah, so Giz did get a 47. That's insane. So we're at 5-0 now. And so we have every single track available in Dino, and in every other, and we only have one more track in. So we have all Dino tracks, 3 available in Snowflake Mountain, Sherbet Island, and Dragon Forest, and we only have Spaceport Alpha available in, Future. Okay, so we're gonna have the last Future Funland course played, Spaceport Alpha Car. What a track! So this could definitely go in Andy's favor if he can get some good vents. But Giz does pretty well here. Then he also, yeah, it's just pretty much. This is an interesting car track. I don't know if a lot of people really like this track because of the fact that that there are no zippers, so it can be pretty taxing on your hand. However, I find it fun. The vent section that we're gonna see is gonna make it very interesting. So let's see. In this track, because this track really, you need to emphasize grabbing bananas. because of the lack of ground zippers. So let's see. Ooh, Giz with a very nice vent, and Andy just behind him, but with just a slightly worse vent time there. So both players doing a nice job navigating the laser room. It's pretty much just a straight line there, but I know some players will opt to go a little wider in a one try. However, both players will get a 34 from Giz and a 36 from Andy. Giz just ever so fast there. A lot of it might have been the vent, but just some basic movements and stuff. And so Andy catching a very nice vent and Giz hanging a little bit. So that will allow Andy to catch a little bit of time on Giz. However, there's still a possibility that Giz actually has gained time on this lap. Yeah, he gained another couple of seconds. Giz's movement's just ever so a little better than Andy's. Very nice vent movement. Both players actually taking the vents pretty well. I think Giz having one more that was a little better. Andy getting caught a little in the air. You really want to hit that center and hit the side where there's not a lot of air, and you're going to want to be able to drop pretty fast from it. Giz going to finish with a 139. Finishing on the 139 flat frame, but it will go to a 139.10. And Andy finishing out with a 144. So that's a very good time. A little off of his PB. So now we have 6-0. And so if Giz wins this track, he will take it 7-0 and move on to the semifinals, where I believe he's going to meet he'll meet Obayo. If he does win, Obayo winning the last match. And we have Ancient Lake Plain picked for the 7th track, so we will have a Dino Domain track played. And this is also the last plane track. If this goes more, there will be no plane tracks for the next 2 after this. So the difference in PBs here is pretty large. Giz, I think, Giz is about 7 seconds different. Giz, I want to say definitely holds top 3 in the 3 lap on this course. So we'll see if there's some zipper issues. If there's a lot of zipper issues, that could really make a difference. So both players grabbing the bananas, but you can see Giz barrel rolling into the Giz missing the. So Giz not having the lap he probably wanted because he missed the ground zipper. However, he is just a little bit faster by about 1 second on Andy. But on this course, it means a lot. Giz with an 11 lap. Wow, just beautiful barrel movement from Giz. However, Andy was a huge bonk. I believe he probably hit into the archway heading into it. Giz finishing with about a 36. So Giz will take the match 7-0, and Andy will finish up here. grab that ground zipper. 48. So that is it. So it's 7-0. We have a clean sweep for Giz. So maybe we can hopefully we can get both players in for a bit of an interview. GG's to both players. Congratulations for making it this far. It's been a very tough tournament, very hard fought for both players. Andy in his group won a match over Dollar Ben to get in for their last group match, which must have been a very big challenge for him. And Giz having a pretty nice group stage for himself as well. No, hello.
Hello.
So, GG's guys. Congratulations, Giz.
Thanks.
Hi.
Hello, Andy. GG's. Congrats on that double PB. That was a very nice, nice. I think it was SDA hover you had there, man. That was quite solid.
Yeah. GG.
Yeah.
Yes.
GG's. So coming into this match, I guess, what did you guys kind of expect? Like, I don't know if you had any expectations coming into the match for like what you might pick against each other. Like, just get a general feeling of how you guys were feeling before the match started. I guess Giz can go first with that.
I knew I was the favorite to win, and I just wanted. I won 7-0, which is what my goal was. So,
Yes.
kind of satisfied with that.
Mm-hmm.
So like, this was what I expected. So I'm glad that this was the case.
Yeah, and Andy, what were you kind of expecting going into the match yourself?
Yeah, I was expecting exactly this result, like unless I would get ridiculously lucky at some track.
And I have to say, there was definitely a couple times. I think the first track there was like 1 second apart on Treasure Caves Hover.
Oh really?
Yes, it was very close.
I felt like I got screwed over because I think Giz knew exactly that I was going to pick Treasure Caves Plain.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, I'm not really happy with how I played in hover today. I think my hover was really, really weak. I think that Andy should have picked another hover track because my hover was terrible. Because my treasure caves, I usually my average is a 49. I think I got a low 43, 53 or so.
You did. You got a low 53. Yeah.
Yeah, and I usually get 49s, so that was a huge disappointment. And when we went to Space Dust Alley, I just played really badly too. Yeah, I was kind of feeling that I thought that Andy would pick a lot more. Like, I thought we would pick like Hot Tub Volcano Hover or Wooden Plains Hover or something like that.
Yeah, something like
because,
that.
Yeah, because I really thought he would pick like really long hover tracks. So I was like, I'm just gonna pick Treasure Caves Hover first, so we get rid of a hover track because I didn't really feel hover.
Yeah, I can understand that, and
I didn't just want to go with tracks that I know that you don't like them. I also wanted to be comfortable with them myself.
Yeah, for sure. But I know that you did a decent job in Hot Tub Volcano Hover versus Ben, so that's why I was expecting it a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, the only race where I really screwed up was Ancient Lake at the end. Like all the other ones were, I didn't have major mistakes.
No, you did really well, honestly. Like, I mean, maybe pretty much you had great races all around. It's just that Giz Giz just went a little bit faster.
I guess I could have taken Haunted Woods if he didn't have that ridiculous.
His first and second lap was crazy. He had a 15 and a 30.
1370.
1370. I was insane. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lap you can get when you go for like world record times. But
Yeah.
But then I did a huge mistake there on lap 3.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
I didn't really understand like how it happened. I know that I was too far to the right, so it slung me over to the other side. But I'm not sure why I got stuck. But
oh yeah, that was weird.
I was a little afraid that he would take it but I knew that my first 2 laps were probably at least 3 seconds faster than his.
Yeah.
So I knew I had a lot of time to save, but or to spare. I mean, but
yes.
It's like losing like 4 seconds on the last lap in such a short level is obviously really dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess I mean it was just I just think it was a really well played set of courses. Giz had some problems on Star City Plain. So Andy, you were actually ahead by like a second after the first lap because Giz front flipped in the tunnel. I want to see you front flip there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really weird.
I front flipped, so my timing became bad, and therefore I missed the zipper right after.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of stuff going on, and then I missed the zipper going up the
yes.
What's it called? Like that ramp at the end.
The ramp at the end, yeah.
So definitely. I missed 2 zippers, and I front flipped on the first lap.
I'm still happy with Star City overall. I've practiced this for a few days now, and I managed to lower my PB down to a 127.
Yeah, you did really well. I think you had a pretty good time on it.
Semi-consistently go below 130. It didn't happen in the race, but okay, it was a clean race.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, so I do think that Andy did what he did what he could.
Yeah,
today. I don't think that you. I think you should be happy with that, even though you lost 7-0. I think that your performance was good.
Definitely.
And where I was playing a little weaker, you definitely had a shot.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have been more confident going for hover tracks.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it's like usually I do play a lot faster than that. So, but it's like some days you don't play that well.
Like, I had no idea that I got so close to you in Treasure Caves. I thought that was just basically, a free one for you.
Yeah. I missed 2 zippers, I think.
Yeah, I know you missed at least one. You missed the last.
Yeah.
On
I had there's a lot of stuff going on there.
The second last zipper, but yeah.
But that's what happens in 1 tries. So.
Yeah, 1 tries are tough, and so.
Yeah. But I'm still happy I won with the expected result in my eyes. So.
Yes. And you have a tough match coming up next.
Oh yeah.
You have a bye.
I need to play a lot better in the next one.
No match. Every single match from here is going to be very tough for both players. For all 4 who move on.
Oh yeah. Obayo is a strong player, and he had a good game against Trident Tail yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I need to up the game a little bit if I want to beat him.
Yeah. So, I guess that's gonna about wrap it up.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts from you guys before we go ahead and send it to intermission?
Just well played, Andy, and I think it was really a great performance for you to get this far in the tournament, and you showed good improvement and good gameplay overall, I'd say.
Yeah, I think I'm happy going out in this way with a really good race at the end, and congrats, guys. And good luck for the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.
Yes. And so that's gonna, I guess, do it for us for this match. Next up, I actually don't know what's up next.
I think it's Celeste or something.
Okay. We do
Odyssey.
We're gonna have an Odyssey race after this, and later tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern time, we're gonna have, I believe it's the final group stage, the final quarterfinals match between Nordic, Boa, and Bandao 2000, which is gonna be.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a good game.
Really good. Yeah.
Great matchup.
Yeah, #1 time trialer against someone who's just really he was a very risky player who could
A counter to
pretty
him,
well.
sort
Yes.
of.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I faced Bandao in group stage, and I won 9-4 with like two tracks that were less than 0.3
Yeah.
apart, where I won both
Yeah.
those.
And
So yeah,
and it might
he's a
have
great
even
player.
and it might have even been
Bandao.
closer
Yeah.
without the unfortunate drumstick Greenwood.
Oh yeah.
So
He's
Bandao's
good,
really
so.
good. Yeah.
So yeah, good luck to Nordic and Bandao tonight.
Yes. Good luck to both.
And
of
thanks
them.
everyone for watching us play.
Yes. Thank you for tuning in. I've been Dr. Fish, and see you guys later.
So yeah.
Yeah.